The Department of Justice has announced that they will not be pressing federal criminal charges against the 2 Ohio cops who were involved in the 2014 shooting and killing of 12-year-old Tamir Rice. Now, there was video evidence of what happened. I believe that the video evidence is rather clear, and a 12-year-old who was doing absolutely nothing wrong was shot and killed within 2 seconds of cops arriving on the scene. But the DOJ is arguing that there's a lack of evidence to pursue prosecution. Now, for those of you who might have missed this story, Rice was shot and killed outside of a recreation center in Ohio by a Cleveland police officer named Timothy Lohman. He had, shown up to the scene after someone had called 911 with some concern that there was someone at the park with a gun. A guy with a pistol was the words used during this call. But the caller also said the gun is probably fake. And so police arriving to that scene should probably, pause, ask some questions, see what's really going on. But that is not what we saw. We saw something quite different from the surveillance footage, which let's take a quick look at it right now, full screen, so people can understand just how quickly Tamir Rice was shot and killed. A 12-year-old was shot and killed. That's it. He was already shot at that point. He was shot through the window. And I mean, it's hard to believe, and I don't believe that there was any meaningful verbal exchange there. Maybe some questions asked about what was really going on. The Justice Department said that after extensive examination of the facts in this tragic event, career prosecutors have concluded that the evidence is insufficient to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Officer Lohman willfully violated Tamir Rice's constitutional rights, or that officers Lohman or Garmbach obstructed justice. So that was the second cop who was there. He's not the one who pulled the trigger, but he was still there. And also, let me just note, video surveillance, video footage of the killing, which happened in daylight on November 22nd of 2014, shows the child was shot within 2 seconds of the police arriving at the scene. Lohman, who fired 2 bullets into Rice, and Garmbach alleged they believed he was carrying a gun. In fact, the boy was playing with a toy air pellet gun near a playground at a city recreation center. So yet another story of injustice, of a 12-year-old dying because he was playing with a toy gun at a park. He's dead. Kyle Rittenhouse, who illegally purchased a gun with his stimulus check and then proceeded to cross state lines with that gun and shoot and kill 2 protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin. No, there was a fundraising effort to bail him out of prison. But Tamir Rice, who cares? 12-year-old got shot, killed, no justice. Let's move on. Not a big deal, right? I mean, it's just, when you juxtapose those 2 stories, how does anyone deny how messed up our justice system is, how there is a 2-tier justice system, how it does have a giant bias against Black people, people of color, poor people. We just see it over and over again. Mm-hmm. This is an example of it.
Yeah, there have been a lot, so many that, I mean, I'm sure we've covered incidents similar to this that we have forgotten just because there's so many and we can't remember all of them. But this is one of the worst because of the speed. Just how fast it was. Like you said, it didn't appear that there was any attempt at communication. I mean, there basically wasn't an opportunity because they acted so quickly. And they would obviously say that they considered themselves to be in danger. And police in America are trained that if they even completely irrationally feel any danger whatsoever, that they're allowed to do whatever they want effectively. My follow-up question would be then, if you knew that this person had a gun, and we're even like forgetting about you were warned that it was probably fake, and it's a handgun, why did you pull right up to the individual, putting yourself in a position where you would feel scared like you were about to die? They didn't need to do that. They could have stopped 20 yards away, 50 yards away. They could have yelled at the individual and been at much less personal risk, and maybe then wouldn't have had to shoot the person. I'm saying from their point of view. Obviously, I don't believe that's a legitimate point of view. But even if that was your view, they made it a situation where they would end up having to shoot this individual.
Yeah, no, that's
It's
such
one
a
of the
great
clearest in
point.
terms of the video. Like anybody looking at that knows how unnecessary it is. But yeah, this is what you get after literally years.
Yeah, and it's just like the disregard for human life that's jarring, right? The willingness to shoot first and maybe ask questions later, but never this urge to ask questions, maybe handle this calmly. If you genuinely believe that this 12-year-old has a real gun, what can you do to de-escalate the situation as a police officer who's in a vehicle with a bulletproof vest on? Like, you can't just pause for a second and ask a question. But no, like it's just the disregard for human life. 12 years old, guys, 12 years old. Imagine your kid, your cousin, your brother, whoever in your life who's young, innocently playing at a park with a toy gun and getting shot and killed within 2 seconds of a cop showing up to the scene. How do you not feel absolute rage at the outcome of this? There's not enough evidence. We saw the evidence. The video's right there. But according to the DOJ, it's too grainy. The video's too grainy.
What details is it blocking? What possible details is the
we can
grain?
see what's happening.
But yeah,